加2个字就很不一样。So this is also my personal story. Okay? So personal story is most of the cases would be wonderful material for humor. You guys don't laugh. This is something wrong with my local. All right, okay, all right. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. Okay. Finally, of course, you get short and punchy message, right? Okay. So Peter was saying it's not over yet. This is a very punchy kind of message that people remember. And finally, we say, when we really want them to take action, you don't say, "Oh, do it, do it, do it." This is not the way. You convince them. All right. So basically, this is it. And Raymond and Kitty basically covered that. The reason I mention this is because that really leads into what we need to do about how to pick the topics. Now, 3 essential elements here. We say in any speech, there must be a message. This is called the fierceness. A speech without a message is not good enough. Nobody would like to listen to a speech without a message. Empty thought, no good, right? Second thing is that we call it tenderness, meaning that it's something that's really from you. This is a true account, your own personal story. This is called authenticity. And that makes a lot of sense as well. Only you have this good combination that your speech is going to touch people. And finally, of course, is the humor part. We call it playfulness. The 3 very important elements. So when you prepare the speech, you ask yourself, do I have all these 3 elements in it? All right, so the second one is important. Authenticity, something that, something that, basically, this is true. This is something from you, something you're convinced you really want to share with the audience. Okay, now, next we have comes the speech-making model. Here it comes, so how to pick what to say. So either you have a lot of experiences. I was talking to Tim. Tim would say, I have nothing to say, right? I said, so what did you remember? What happened yesterday? Was it, right, Tim, right? And he said, well, okay. Now, this is how, it's something that you can remember. There's something that worth telling or sharing, right? Make sense? Okay? So this, start with the story experience. And if this is not good enough, sometimes you might have certain observation or message. We are bombarded with lots of information in a day. So we're going to decide whether which comes first. That sometimes is this that comes first, or sometimes a story that's so good that you will have something to talk about. Then finally, you come to the speech crafting, which was covered in Kitty's session already. Now, let's see. There we go. Okay. So I said, on a daily basis, we'll bombard with different kinds of things. So whatever, it could be your own story, anything you want to tell us about yourself, or other story. Sometimes it may not be my story. It could be say Jim's story. So I'm going to tell his story, and it would still be good if there's something of your close friends or so on and so forth. That would still be good. Or sometimes it's just encounters, some interesting encounters. You talk to a person, and then the person gives you some very interesting ideas that could also be how you can make use of for your kind of material in a speech. And, because sometimes it would be dreams. You have dreams? Now, I suggest that it's always good that you have a little kind of post-it paper next to the bed, so that when you wake up, whether it's a nightmare or not, you wake up and then you can write it down. That would be useful as well, right? That would be very useful. Dreams are very useful. And next is inspiration. You have inspirations. Huh? Okay. One of my inspirations is, years ago, I had the interesting belief, or rules, whatever, that I must wear the identical socks 2 times. So if this is black, it should be the same kind of black, same make, and only with that I feel comfortable going out, right? And there was a time that inadvertently I wore a navy blue, and the black on my right, and I went out and I felt so uneasy I was so worried about being seen with that very stupid mistake. Now, then, one day, in London, I came across a guy who was standing in a very stylish way, probably waiting for his girlfriend. And what caught my attention was that on his left, he wore a sports suit. And on his right, he wore a leather suit. A leather suit, a sports suit. So to me, I mean, this is almost like a jaw-dropping experience. Right? But that inspired me that how come I need to be so fussy about the color of my socks? So sometimes you get a lot of this interesting experience or inspiration in life. Write it down. It really will help you in preparing your next speech. Make sense? Good. All right, next. Enlightening. Oh, I got it. So this is enlightening, right? Something that suddenly you understand. Suddenly I understand, oh, so I'm at the age of 60. So life is very different in front of me. Oh, I got it. Something like that. They're not inspired. They're not. Enchantment. I like this word. Enchantment is a very pleasant enlightening. Something that, that kind of feeling. You have that ever in your life? Joe, you have that? Kind of. Can you share one experience? How did you get your name?
How did I get my name?
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, her name is, oh, by the way, sir. Jewel, Jewel, right? E-W, Jewel. Wow. Like a jewel, right? Jewelry, yeah, jewel. Yeah. How did you get your name?
So I'm a twin, and my sister is called Pearl.
Oh, Pearl and Jewel, right.
So before I was born, my mom was like, I saw this movie, and it's the two names that, the two little girls are really pretty, and they're called Michelle and Samantha. So she wanted to give me Michelle and Samantha, so my sister would be Samantha. But then, later on, she thought that Jewel and Pearl is more unique, and she treats me like a jewel and a pearl as precious as they are.
Yeah, see, the word precious just came out, right? When you feel, oh, so your mom really wants you to be precious. How do you feel about it?
I feel honored.
Yeah, you have that kind of enchantment, right? Oh, that's why I got this name, right? Instead of diamond, right? You like blue? Okay, Jewel is a good name, right? Okay? So are you getting it? Are you getting it? So somehow in your life there are lots of such enchantment. So look for that enchantment. They are really, something that you feel enchanted. The audience will feel the same. Make sense? Okay? Alright. Now there are lots of interesting things around us. And something that look very cute, right? A dog kissing a fish. I didn't make it up. We took that picture. I really took that picture. And that one, see, we engineer are very creative. We can go around problems. We have the staircase rail going around this fire hose. Okay, so something that can be very cute, something that can be very, very interesting, something that can be funny, something that can be ridiculous, and even something that's amazing. Now, quick exercise. Anything that you can recall now, either something that you encountered in the past week or so, something that is interesting, something that will be cute, funny, or ridiculous, amazing. Anything? Would you two in a group quickly? I give you only a minute. And, all right, try to recall these interesting things that you encounter. Can you do it now? Two in a group. Form a group of two. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Go, 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 go. Yeah. 1 minute. Okay, go ahead, go ahead. Okay, time's up. Any sharing? Any sharing? Quick sharing. Raise your hand. If you anything interesting you want to share. Interesting. Anything interesting. I can tell you. Come on. Jimmy. Okay. All right, we're done with the discussion. Listen, we're over there with Jimmy something to share with us. Jimmy, give you the mic. Jimmy. Jimmy. Here you go.
This morning I wake up very early in order to join this
Listen.
event, and then I went to PolyU. And then suddenly I found out I should go to BU. So I was to come here.
So what is your learning?
Learning and pay attention to the
lectures. Okay, and that's a good starting point. Am I right? Sometimes we have all these so interesting mishap. We just overlook something, right? So that could be a good starting point, Jimmy, right? Of course, a good speech will need to be crafted many times, rehearsed many times. Raymond said we need to rehearse in front of my friends and so on and so forth. But it's always good to have something to begin with. Your first step. Makes sense, right? So this is a good one. This is a good one, right? Thank you. So you have to keep laughing on that, right? Okay, all right. All right, okay. Next. Okay, all right. It doesn't like me. Now, I took this picture from one of the jewelry shops. It says that to be irreplaceable, you must be different. Now, sometimes it's not just the experience. We receive a lot of all these kind of posts in the day, right? Are you okay with that? We receive a lot of posts from your friends on Facebook, on WhatsApp messages, and sometimes this is how that will prompt you into thinking or pick out some of the experience that correspond with it, right? Then you may have something to say because we have that, right? Make sense, Timo? Okay? Now, the next one is, say, here. When you face a fear, you find your true thing. I received that. And then I suddenly think of fear would be a good topic for international speech. How you face your fear. See? Exercise for you, very quickly. Now, sometimes something that make you really, Eureka is the word for Archimedes. You know Archimedes' principle, right? Archimedes got this Archimedes principle. He with this kind of joy, enchantment. He got, Eureka, I got it, right? Aha! So something that you got that very important message, all right? So sometimes when you have that, you jot it down. Of course, it would even be good to act it out. Nobody laugh. Sorry, Jim. Nobody laugh. Okay. All right. This is Jim, right? Jim act it out. Okay. All right. Exercise. Now, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Now, again, I give you a minute. You go with your partner again. Come up with some of your experience that might be related to it. See? Once you have been given a message, and you can make use of the message to relate to your experience, and this is how you begin with coming up with your speech. Okay? All right. So a minute, quickly, on this one. I give you this one, and I also give you one more. You decide which one you like, okay? Either this one. Can you still remember that? Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. Life is about learning to dance in the rain. So this is for you, right? If you don't like this topic, what about this one? Stress would be easier to handle if it was covered in chocolate. So either one, you decide on one topic and then discuss with your partner to come up with one of your experiences that is related to this message. Would that help? Quickly, another minute. All right, go ahead. Are you working? Are you working? Oh, you're okay. All right. One of you experienced it. Okay, time's up. Let's see. Who has anything to share? Agnes, you have anything to share? Experience. Which one you like? The chocolate one, the stress in chocolate, sugar-coated stress, or the dancing in the rain? Which one you pick? Dancing in the rain. Okay, what's your experience related to it? Listen everybody.
Hi everyone. Hi. I'm from MPC. I think the most important thing is about the journey and also the process. And it's not about the end.
Yeah.
The event.
So your experience, you
My
have any?
experience is about some hurdles in life.
Yeah.
And I will really treasure those kind of experiences.
Okay, good.
I cannot work out, for example, a relationship, and I cannot work out, and then I think when I look at different relationships, and then it will help me for the future one.
Yeah, so dancing in the ring means you're really jumping into it, experience it, and learn from it, right? Okay, you see? So there are only two ways to decide what to say in a speech. Either you begin first with your experience, or you bump into all these kind of interesting kind of quotes that will prompt you into relating to your relevant experience. Make sense?
Yes.
So basically this is it, but then of course it would be good that your story would need to be authentic. I mean, at least to a certain percentage this is true. It may not necessarily be 100% true. It still be good that, like what Raymond said, you fake it until you make it, in a way that perhaps you make up a little bit of it. Hopefully, the story by itself is authentic. All right, this is important. Right, so you see the picture here, right? Not very authentic. Now, in my example, this is very authentic. Okay, right, my example. The one I did 2 years ago. The butterfly effect. I lost to Kitty. Kitty was really doing really well. I did very well already, but she did brilliantly. That's why I lost to her in the division contest, right? So what is that butterfly effect about? Now this was my experience. I put two stories together. Now before I come up with the topic, my experience was I actually did my first time ice skating, taikushing. I did it because I know it was laced up. But then because I never tried it in my life, so I really want to do it before I get too old to do it, right? I did it because I want to disprove that very important statement that old dogs cannot learn new tricks. I want to disprove this statement. So my real experience was, I thought it was easy just to do ice skating, because people doing ice skating was very graceful, right? And then all I happened on me was I fell one after another, and it was really like a Mr. Bean show, right? And I described my story, and I said I got all bruises all over me, humiliation and all that. But then at least I disproved the statement that old dogs cannot learn new tricks. I said I did it. Or I'm not quite an old dog yet. You like that, right? Then I say this is not the end of the story. The story continued because 2 weeks later, I was invited to a school to be a judge of the inter-class speech contest. And this was the little girl who came up stage and said, she has this story of perseverance. And she said, I love ice skating, but I couldn't do it well because I'm afraid of falling. 2 weeks ago, I was in taikushing. And there was this late 50, this old man, wearing a kind of a weird green jacket. And she was obviously a beginner because he always hold on to the rail, the side rail. And I'm using this because I was actually being invited to this school to be the judge. And the girl was talking about ice skating. But then I put them together, overlapped them together. The little kind of fakeness was that she didn't see me. But because she was talking about ice skating, and I put them together. So you see all this twist comes in, And the whole thing is about my personal experience. And butterfly effect means what? I was doing something very stupid. I just want to, try something I never tried before. And didn't notice that I could impact on someone I have no idea who she is. And she was seeing me doing all these fall and climbing back up and doing all that. She was so impressed and thinking that, oh, I learned from this old guy. And he was so, so he persists. That's why he helped me to do things so much better. Then later, she said she could do much better in ice skating and also in her schoolwork. Now, so this is called the butterfly effect. Something that happened far away on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean could have created this effect on a cyclone, tropical cyclone in this part of the world. Now, see, this is how you make use of experience and then come up with so-called a topic and a message at the end. Would that help? All right, how am I doing with time? I'm already over time. 2 minutes. Okay, good. I quickly go over this. And I have my, you already have, some of you have my sweet and sour pork speech, right? How many of you here heard it? Some of you, okay. All right, so how did I came up with that topic? This is the humor speech I did years ago, right? A few years ago in Chengdu. And the whole topic was, I loved sweet and sour pork when I was much younger. Because at home, Mom, poor family, we never tried sweet and sour pork. So I insist I had my sweet and sour pork. And finally, Mom brought me to a restaurant. We had that. So the sweet and sour pork kind of put in front of us. And I make use of the audience to be my sweet and sour pork, They're all my sweet and sour pork. And I said, it was so tasty. This is really good. And I thought, but Mom was saying, okay, what the hell is that? You need to cover pork with a crust. Pork is pork. There's no need to cover it, right? But I don't believe it. I think this is really wonderful. So my second piece of sweet and sour pork, in which I picked peanut. I picked, okay. So I'm very much put the sweet and sour pork into life. Because I was saying the sweet and sour pork, I will resist I'm trying to kind of squeeze on the sweet and sour pork. And the sweet and sour pork, unless itself with the crust is kind of melting down and all that, right? And then I said, when I come to the second piece of sweet and sour pork, I picked tuna, and I tried to squeeze it again, and that sweet and sour pork gave way, because it's just some fatty piece of meat. They're not meat, they're just fat. And I felt so kind of devastated. And then I remember what Mom said. Pork is pork. So much better. You see it naked and unpretentious, and decide what you see is what you get. Because any man-made beauty, you may regret in the end, right? So from that point on, I said, I'll never have sweet and sour pork again. So here we go. So we begin first of all with this masterpiece from Alain de Botton. He turned a house into almost like a person. So this is really beautiful. He is saying the house is grown into a knowledgeable witness. You see? So I got this inspiration when I read this article, and he has been party to early seduction. So the guy is bringing his girlfriend to the home. So the house is watching. Isn't that good, right? Isn't that good? And he's saying he has got homework being written, and he has observed the swaddle baby freshly arrived from hospital. So the master, the owner of the house, got married and gave, his wife gave birth to a baby, and the baby brought home. It has been surprised in the middle of the night by a whisper, "Conferences in the kitchen." I love that because it turned the house into a person. And that's how inspired me to turn a sweet and sour pork into a person. All right? And so Mom's message is that it's so much better just to pick. You see what you see, what you get, right? Anything cover up is no good. So, all right. Sweet and sour pork come to life. Audience is my pops, and the climax is the second sweet and sour pork. And I pick Tina. This is Tina Wong, right? And she was my second. No, she loved it. She loved it. Okay, so this is how we went. Okay. Quickly, Q&A. Question and answer. 1 or 2 questions before I finish it off. I know I'm over time. Yeah? Any question on how you prepare this meeting? In a nutshell, first of all, write down whatever notable experience in the past week or so that you think you will worthwhile to share with people, or your encounter with any interesting observation, messages, quotes that could prompt you to relate back to your experiences. This is how you do it. Make sense? Question, finally. Any question? Oh, very quiet. Okay, I'm done. Thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's where it goes on Talis. Talis.
Quickly.
Sorry.
So when are you asking for the
Payment. Oh, panel discussion, okay. So we can ask a panel discussion, huh? I stay here, yeah. Okay. Alright, so finally, Kitty, for you, shall we give her a big round?